venue.
By the way,
gym.
just as a side note, Jimmy was laughing, and Michael wasn't.
It was real.
I mean, not really, but I mean, it really struck him wrong. That's all.
Because he was a skier, I think, is what it was. He was.
Took it personally.
He was like, "This is ridiculous. I ski." I don't know. It was just a dumb joke. Yeah.
So I heard this thing happening in real time, and I was like, "I'm a boxing trainer," and all I wanted to do was see the inside of the radio studio. That was my goal. I had the bar was no higher than if I could get in and see what the studio looked like, because I've been hearing it in my head for so long. And I grew up in L.A., so I would listen to Loveline and K-Rock.
So wait, your goal was to see it and then just turn and walk back out?
I set my goals sort of incrementally.
Okay.
Like, if I could just get into this, I could see, I could meet people. Who knows what would happen after that? I didn't have any goals about getting on the air. So I got to the job I was working on, and I asked the lady if I could use the phone, and I called, and I got Frank Murphy's phone machine, and I was leaving these desperate messages like, I'm a trainer, I want to train, I can be available, and he never called back. Nobody ever called back. And I kept hearing you guys in subsequent days going on the air saying, we need trainers.
And I was like, wow, I can't believe we can't get any trainers.
And trainers would call in, and I'd be like, no. I'd be like yelling at my dashboard, no, don't hire this guy, don't hire this guy. So eventually I found out where the building was, and I used to teach a 7 a.m. boxing class. So I showed up in Burbank at the building at like 6:15, and the building was locked. And I couldn't get into the building.
Just like today.
So I said, I don't have it again. I said, when's the building open? They said 7. And I said, okay. And I went and taught my boxing class. And the next day, I got a guy to cover my boxing class. Wow. And I showed up at 7. And I got into the building. And I went up to the 9th floor. And K-Rock was locked. So now I just stood by the elevators. And I was like, flummoxed. Like, what do I do? Do I go back? Do I turn, tuck my tail in and go home? And I was standing by the elevators. And a guy got off the elevator to like refill the vending machine or do the water bottles or something. He was walking the back hall, going in the back door, the key card door. And I said, oh, are you going in? And he said, I'm going in. The station, I said, I'll tell everyone there's a boxing coach. He's waiting by the elevators. I'll just wait here. Why
didn't you go in with him?
I didn't want to be presumptuous.
Push it too much?
I didn't want to freak people out. My whole thing was, I want to train these guys box, and I want to do comedy, but I don't want to push myself and have them think I'm a comedian who's trying to do this with boxing. So I just stood by the elevator, and like 20 minutes later, Jimmy just came down the hall. I wasn't planning. I wanted to train Michael because he'd been there for like a number of years, and he's a brother. And they're so good. They're so good at skiing that it translates into boxing. It's almost the same sport. So, Marvin Hagler was a great skier. People don't know that.
Is that right?
Oh, the best. It goes on and on. Ernie Shavers, great guy. Well, he's a snowboarding guy. Anyway,
but who would have ever guessed though that moment that you and Jimmy locked eyes there in the hallway by the elevator, that a bromance for all time was born.
I was just stood there, and Jimmy just came down the hall, and I said,
kissed you on the mouth.
I'm the boxing coach. And Jimmy went, okay.
Oh, they all right?
Yes.
This is how you remember it, right?
I said, when do you want to start? And he went, today? And I said, yes. And I said, well, I'm in Pasadena. And he said, I'll be there at noon. And I just stood in the parking lot and waited for Jimmy to pull up.
And I never left.
I don't think that's what was happening, Kevin. But what a beautiful story. It just shows you, a little initiative.
You see what happens when you make friends, Bean? It's a thing that maybe will happen to you in London. Maybe, you know what I think? Maybe one of those guys who stands perfectly still in front of Buckingham Palace. Maybe you will come face to face with one of those guys. He'll say nothing to you. You'll say nothing to him. And you guys will just stand there and stare at each other every afternoon.
And then later he'll go, you're one of my people. And then you'll wear the hat.
Something
You're my best friend.
They're called beef eaters. Sorry.
A quick break. More with
we're going to keep you guys as long as we can. Just
and Jimmy
we'll hang out. I feel like once we leave, the energy is going to be sucked out of the room.
Amen.
You guys are going to start crying.
You're not wrong.
It's going to really be ugly if we leave.
Yeah.
So we got to hang out.
Pushing a special needs son on a bicycle. When we let go, you're going right into a hedge.
The Kevin and Bean Show. The world famous K-Rock.
What would you like to wish Bean on his farewell to England?
I hope that he has an amazing time and that he finds all of the joy and happiness that he's looking for.
I would like to wish that Bean gets a big farm just like he used to have when we lived in Santa Clarita. He was my neighbor, as much as he has neighbors.
Was he was a big dick as a neighbor?
No, he never came out of that house.
Bean, you're awesome. I wish you the best. Hopefully we'll hear some kind of podcast from you so we can laugh at you from afar. And hope to hear more from you. We'll miss you, man. We'll miss you. Listen to you for a really, really long time.
Safe trip across the seas, man. I've been listening to you since 1993-ish. So you've basically formed my comedy funny bone. I love you, man. Good luck. Hope to hear you again sometime.
I hope that England brings him a new happiness, and I thank him for being so honest about having mental illness, issues, and we love you, Bean.
Have fun with your Linus and your wife and have so much fun and post a lot on Instagram because I'm going to stalk him on there. Yeah.
I mean, I wish Bean the best, and I hope he finds a lot of very large things that he can go visit, like the largest pecan. Maybe they got the largest bagel or largest... whatever they got in Britain.
The largest fish and chips. He's all there.
Oh, there you go. Largest fish and chips.
Oh, all of the happiness in the whole wide world. He's a living legend and continued success because he's not going to stop anytime soon.
I hope the FBI doesn't catch up with you. I know that's why you're leaving to England. I know you're running from the FBI.
Well, I want to wish Bean, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm so glad I've been listening for 20 plus years. And Bean, you're the man, dude. Just stop being a creep. Like, that's all I got to say. Just stop creeping on people. He was creeping on my girlfriend tonight, so that was kind of funny.
I want to wish him a better accent.
We're going to miss him, though. I mean, really, I plan meetings around the morning show. I tell people, don't mess with me. This is my little couple of hours. Don't. I schedule my whole day all around that because this show means that much to me.
I am going to hope that the Queen appoints him to be Sir.
Sabine Baxter of Hootie Whoville.
It's too much, you guys.
Yeah, it was too
It's
much.
too much
Could
for
use
you.
some editing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if Jimmy still worked here, that would have been tight.
I think what Bean's saying is it's too much focus on
Oh,
him.
I see.
Too
What
much,
I was thinking, what a beautiful tribute from a bunch of half-drunk people at Applebee's in Orange County.
Who's he
I
again?
just-
Oh, okay.
It's Beer Mug's
Jimmy-
entire bit.
I'll tell you what it is, Jimmy.
What is it, Bean?
And we said this earlier today. Kevin actually said it very well, which is we have no concept what the result is of the words that we say into this microphone on the other side of the radio. And it's hard to hear that it is so meaningful to people because it just doesn't seem like that to us. You know what I mean?
Well, I think when you say us, you mean everyone but you, because other people are touched by this stuff. Do you feel any kind of sentimental, or is it all just mental?
Well, look, for both of us, like, we know us.
Yeah.
And we know how much we should be admired. And it's not this much.
It's not this much.
You know what I mean? Like, so it feels
people
weird.
are too kind. People are way too kind about the impact that the show has made on them. You know what I mean? We're just yucking it up in here. We're just clowns. You know what I mean? And the fact that we've actually been an important and meaningful part of people's lives is very difficult to hear and take seriously. That's all. And I know that people are being sincere and serious, and it's very, very moving and very, very touching. But it's also hella uncomfortable.
Hella? Did you say hella?
I did.
Is that English slang? Is this a British slang you're going to be using now?
No, that's just 1998 slang. That's all.
12-year-olds from 1978.
Jimmy, when Jimmy told me he was going to get me on the radio, it was funny because you were saying this earlier. He said, you can call in on Monday. I won't tell him you were the boxing coach. You just call in Monday and do a character, do a bit. And then he said, they're not going to like it, and that'll be the last time you call in. But you can try.
If they don't like it, it will be the last time you
No,
call
I
in.
remember Jimmy coming to us and saying, my boxing instructor's pretty funny. We should talk to him
Yeah.
about the match and stuff like that. And I remember thinking, all right,
well,
great.
that was as the boxing instructor
Right.
before
the characters.
Before the character, yeah.
Yeah, I knew that if they didn't like you the first time, that would be the last time.
It's not that harsh, Jimmy. Come on now.
Jimmy, true or false? True or false? Your favorite all-time Kevin and Bean memory involved a Kevin and Bean Christmas album signing.
Yeah, this was. Now, and Adam, you're going to have to help me because I don't remember cars or anything like that. But as I recall, Tad had a truck.
Yes,
It was an El Camino.
Yeah, was it the El Camino or was it a different
Ranchero?
Because you could fit in the back. Yeah,
it was
he got
El Camino.
something that he thought was cool.
And it had a window, a sliding panel window in the back. And Tad locked his keys in the car. And somehow we managed to pry this window open. And Bean, being the tallest man in California at that time,
for some reason thinks I'm the one.
Well, yeah, because he had the longest arms, and he's like, I'll climb in there and I'll grab the keys. They were on the floor or something like that.
And by the way, there's a line about 2 hours long waiting for us at this point.
Literally thousands of people in line waiting for this signing of the Christmas album. And Bean gets in there, and just like Winnie the Pooh, he gets stuck. And he's really stuck. This is not like stuck for 5 minutes stuck.
No, I cannot get out.
This is kind of like we may have to call 911 kind of stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
And everyone is just kind of parading by and looking at Bean's big white ass.
Like,
and
what's happening?
You're in shorts, and he's trapped, and we couldn't start the signing. And we had to, one of the listeners, I think, knew more than we did and somehow removed the panel from the back of the truck. But we were just dying laughing.
But finally, when Bean stood up, he had the window still around him.
He had the window around him. That was great.
It's one of the best things that's ever
And
happened.
by the way, let me tell you how lucky I was that this was pre-cell phone, because there is no photo of that.
Would have videoed the whole thing.
That would have been a viral video for sure,
But
right?
it wasn't pre-camera. How did we not get a picture of that? You were there for an hour.
I know, because I think I was
Shame on
far
us.
enough away from where the crowd was that people just didn't come
No,
over. or
on
whatever.
us. We should have taken pictures of it.
Do you remember when we would go to lunch every day? After the show, Adam, most of the time Adam would come with us, Frank Murphy, our producer, Kevin, Bean, and Lightning. We'd go to lunch to plan the next day's show.
Every day.
Every day. Mm-hmm. And every day after the show, we'd have an argument about where to go to lunch. You guys always wanted to go to Taco Bell. We hated Taco Bell.
Right.
We did not want to go to Taco Bell. And there were a lot of different options in Burbank, but one of the options that none of us liked was the Talleyrand.
Oh, the Talleyrand, the old people restaurant.
Yeah, still there.
I think Bean liked it, no?
No, he did not like it at the time. I think
I grew into it, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So Adam built this wheel. It was just a roulette type.
We still use it.
wheel.
We still use it.
Adam built the wheel, and we put our favorite lunch spots on the wheel, but we agreed for whatever reason that one of the spots would be filled by the Talleyrand. Again, none of us wanted to go to the Talleyrand.
No, you have to have a terrible one.
We'd spin the wheel. Oh, that's the wheel.
That's the wheel, Adam.
Wow.
That's constructed by Mr. Bircham.
Jesus.
Wow, what a beautiful piece of woodworking.
That's radio history right there, you guys.
Yeah, they're not going to give us money to buy a new one.
I can't tell you, Adam, how many times we've had people say, "Oh, I thought that was just a sound effect."
Will you spin
Would it
that
be
wheel?
that bad?
Spin that wheel.
Yeah.
And this is how it would go in the morning, okay? In the afternoon, after the show, we spin the wheel, and it lands on the Talleyrand, and we all be like, no! Why are we going here? And I'd say, we have to go. The wheel told us we must obey the wheel. Yeah, we did.
That to me it summarizes the difference between men and women as a species. It's like women would never put on the wheel the restaurant they didn't want to eat
Because
at.
they're
That's
smarter.
how
I got
men
news
do
for you.
smarter.
Yeah.
Men don't even do that.
That's
no
right.
one does
You're
that.
probably right.
Only we did that.
Right.
Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla are here on the Kevin and Bean Show. It is my last show. We have to take a live voice vote now because we have an important
Oh,
decision
no,
to be
let's
made on the
keep them
program.
around for the top 10 moments with.
Yes, definitely.
No, that's not the live voice vote.
That's not the vote.
Live vote.
What's the vote?
Poor man is on the phone.
Oh, wow.
Now, I joked about
For
that
real?
earlier because Doc and the Rock really did call in, but
I
now
vote yes.
now legendary K-Rock personality Jim Poorman Trenton is on the phone, who we have had, shall I say, a strained relationship with over the years and have not spoken with since the day he got fired.
Oh, this is great. This
And
is
he
so
has been,
uncomfortable.
as you know, he has been. No one has hated K-Rock more
Just get
since
to
the
the
day
vote.
he was fired than
the vote.
Poor Man. Do we talk to him on the air when we come back?
Oh, yes.
I say yes. Drew just sent me a text. He says no.
We didn't ask him.
Jensen, what's your vote, Jensen?
As a longtime K-Rock listener, I have to vote yes. This is what people want.
Adam, Jimmy?
Yeah,
I say yes.
Of course.
Allie McKay?
Only if I can ask him why Huntington Henry hit on me when I was 14.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think that's
All
important.
right.
All right, those are all
All
good
right.
questions. So this is the reunion you never thought you'd see ever in your life. It's not weird enough we talked to Ryan Seacrest today. Now we're talking to Poor Man next on K-Rock.
It's the Kevin and Bean Show. K-Rock.
Jimmy Kimmel, Adam Carolla in the studio on Bean's Last Day.
Along with Jensen Karp, Allie McKay, Kevin Ryder. It's the final Kevin and Bean Show, and you can't say we're not leaving it all out on the field today.